Look, I got a light box for Christmas, and baby is very intrigued by it. Also, here's my TBR cart. So I got all kinds of Instagram, Bookstagram, BookTube trends going on in this video. Hi guys, it's Emily, and today I'm here to bring you a wrap-up of my 2020 goals, and then I'm going to talk about my 2021 goals because they're basically going to be the same, so I figured I'd throw it all into one video. So let's just get started. So my main goal every year is my Goodreads goal. In 2020, my goal started as 90 books, and I ended up bumping it up to 95, and I read 95 books. So that was an achievement. In 2021, I'm again going to do 90 books, and if I need to bump it up to 95 or, even higher later on, I'll do that. The second goal was to read from my 4 lists. My 4 lists are all of my unread owned physical books, all of the books that have been on my TBR since 2014 that I haven't read, all of the books that I want to reread, and then all the 20 longest books on my TBR. And in 2020, I needed to read 48 of those books because my entire list of those 4 categories was 96 books, and I was splitting it into 2 years, so 48 a year, which worked out to 4 a month. And that worked out well, and I did read the 48 books. I did read the 4 a month, and I met my goal of 48 books. In 2021, my list is now 86 books, so even though I read the 48, I added, I bought some books and I added some rereads. So my list only decreased by 10, which isn't great, but, it's okay. So I'm again going to split it over 2 years, and so it's going to be 43 books from my list this year. And I've already worked out, I'm going to spend the first 2 months of the year reading only books from my list, and then that will give me some more, breathing room in the later part of the year when I'm doing more challenges and things like that. So Goodreads and my list of books was a success. So I also wanted to show you my TBR cart. It's got 3 levels. You can't see the 3rd level. So ideally, my goal, so these are all of my physically owned, my own physical unread books fit on this cart, which is great. That was one of my goals for this year, and I met that goal. My ideal goal would eventually be to have this top shelf totally empty so that I could use it as a staging area for my TBR. So right now, this is my January TBR, but this side is all still unread books. So ideally, I would just have this one staging area row and have enough space to move this down here. But anyway, just wanted to show that off since it's always in the back of my videos and I never have brought it up to the front before. So in my gold video, I also mentioned several reading events that I wanted to participate in. I wanted to do SH Reads, which is hosted by Winks and Ink in January in honor of Sherlock Holmes' birthday. She did not actually do the event this year, but I still read From Holmes to Sherlock by Mattias Boström to fit the Sherlock Holmes theme, because I've been reading a book in January about Sherlock Holmes related for 4 years now, so I wanted to keep doing it. This year, I'm still going to do it, even though it doesn't look like she's doing it anymore. And this year, I'm going to read Mrs. Sherlock Holmes by Brad Ricca for my Sherlock Holmes related book in January. I also participated in the Lord of the Read-Along hosted by Krista from Books and Jams, and I did complete that. I read The Hobbit and then the 3 Lord of the Rings books, so that was a success. I also said I wanted to do March Mystery and Madness, which I did. I helped co-host it, and also I met our main challenge, which was to either read 5 books or to complete 5 of our prompts, and I did both. I read, over 5 books, and I completed 5 prompts, so that was a success for me. I also said I wanted to do a Jane Austen Summer, and I did do that. I read Mansfield Park in June, Emma in July, and then Sense and Sensibility in August, so that was a success. This coming summer, 2021, I want to read Pride and Prejudice, Northanger Abbey, which I've never read before, and Persuasion, and then I'll have read all 6 of Jane Austen's main works in the span of 2 summers, so that'll be really good.
I also read Wuthering Heights for October, which was something I had mentioned in my goals video, so that was a success. And I think this year I want to reread Jane Eyre for October, so that's what I'm going to say my goal for October is. And then finally, I always participate in Nonfiction November, and I did read enough books to meet the 4 prompts, so that was a success as well. And all of those things I'm going to do again this year, except for the Lord of the Rings law, because obviously that's not going on this year. One new reading challenge that I'm going to be doing this year is the Books Wordathon Challenge. And this year, Books and Lala, Kayla, has made it where there's one word for every month, and you do it on the first week of every month. But I'm not really going to do like how you're supposed to do it. I'm just going to read one book. That means each prompt for a total of 12 books. And then, I'm not going to worry about reading it on the right week. I'm just going to read one and check it off when I read it. So I'm going to do Buzz Wordathon in like a chill way. So yeah, just wanted to mention that. I also mentioned that I wanted to do Christmas in July, and I had actually expressed an interest in possibly hosting some kind of readathon for Christmas in July. So I did not host the readathon, but it was fine because Sarah from the Bookish Knitter and some other ladies hosted a Christmas in July readathon, and I read one book to satisfy that because I had initially said I was going to read just Christmas books in July, but then when July actually came, I didn't feel like doing that, so I just read the one, and I'm going to count that as being complete because I did read one in July. But yeah, I did not host the readathon that I mentioned, but it was fine. The one big goal that I totally did not do was that I said I wanted to read some Filipino literature in 2020, and I didn't do this mostly because my impetus for doing it was because I was going to the Philippines in July for my brother's religious wedding ceremony, and that did not happen because, COVID. So I sort of lost my momentum and excuse for doing it, but I still would really like to read some Filipino literature just so I have a better understanding of like my sister-in-law's culture and history, and also because now of course I have my niece who is half Filipino, so I'd like to understand more about her culture and her traditions as well. So, I just want to be a more well-informed aunt, and sister-in-law. So I'm still planning to do that. I've written out a list of like books I want to read that sound interesting. So hopefully I'll get to some of those this year. So that's all of my goals that I did in 2020 and all of the goals I hope to achieve in 2021. As I said, they're basically the same. I like to keep it pretty light and easy because reading is something I do for fun. I don't want to stress out about it or make it too hard, but I am really enjoying reading. I love to do it. I love filming BookTube, and I love having some kind of challenges to help me, keep me accountable, but I don't want to be too stressed out. Oh, I also wanted to mention, I didn't mention it in my goal video last year, but for the last 5 years, I've done the Around the Year challenge on Goodreads, which is a 52 prompt challenge where it's just like you pick different books and you read them to meet the prompts. And this year, in 2020, I did complete that challenge. It was only my second time completing all 52 prompts, despite having done it for 5 years. And I decided after that I'm going to quit doing it for now, so I'm not doing the Around the Year challenge in 2021. I'm taking a little bit of a break. So that's all of my reading goals. I just wanted to show off my light box again because it's brand new. And I just really think it's cool. I know I'm like 10 years late to the trend, but it's still a really cool site. So I hope everybody else has some great reading goals planned for 2021. And that you did a great job on your 2020 goals. And even if you didn't, that was a crazy year. So even if you just made it through the year, you met your goal. So I'll talk to you again soon. Bye! And Milo says bye too, even though she doesn't really care at all.